Welcome to Cyber GRC Hub. Ever used your credit card online and wondered, is my data safe? It's the internet. But what if I told you there's a system protecting billions of transactions every day? It's called PCI DSS. Let's dive in. So, PCI DSS. It sounds like something you'd find scrawled on a pirate treasure map, right? But instead of leading to buried gold, it leads to something way more valuable: the security of your credit card information. See, PCI DSS stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. But behind the acronym is a really important set of rules that any business or organization has to follow if they handle your credit or debit card information. Think of it this way. Imagine a bustling marketplace, right? People are buying and selling, exchanging goods and money. Now imagine that marketplace without any security guards, no rules, no system for protecting people's money. Chaos, right? That's what the online world would be like without PCI DSS. It's the security guard, the rulebook, the system that keeps your card data safe from the digital pirates out there. Okay, so we know PCI DSS is important, but you might be thinking, does this apply to me? Is my little online store really on the radar of these payment superheroes? And the answer, my friend, is probably yes. See, PCI DSS isn't just for the big corporations and tech giants. It's for anyone, any business, big or small, that handles credit or debit card information. So if you're a retailer, whether you're selling hand-knitted scarves or the latest tech gadgets, you need to be PCI DSS compliant. If you're an online store, even if you're just starting out and selling vintage vinyl records out of your basement, PCI DSS is for you. And it's not just about selling things online either. Financial institutions, the banks and credit unions that hold your money, they need to be compliant too. Payment processors, those companies that handle the actual transfer of funds during a transaction, they're on the hook as well. Even service providers, those behind-the-scenes wizards who might handle payment data on behalf of other companies, they've got to follow the rules. Basically, if cardholder data, even just a little bit of it, passes through your systems, PCI DSS is your responsibility. Alright everyone, let's talk about the nitty-gritty, the heart and soul of PCI DSS, the 12 requirements. Now I know what you're thinking. 12? That's a lot of rules. And you're right, it's a dozen. A baker's dozen of security measures designed to keep those digital pirates at bay. But don't worry, we're going to break them down into bite-sized, understandable chunks. No need for a cybersecurity PhD here. Think of these 12 requirements as the pillars holding up the fortress of your payment security. Each one is important, each one plays a crucial role in keeping that data safe. And they're all grouped into 6 main categories, kind of like the different sections of the fortress. First up, we've got build and maintain a secure network. Imagine this as building the actual walls of the fortress, strong and impenetrable. This means using firewalls, those digital gatekeepers that control what comes in and out of your network. It also means having secure configurations for your systems and software, making sure everything is up to date and locked down tight. Next, we have protect cardholder data. This is like keeping the crown jewels safe inside the fortress. We're talking about encrypting data, both when it's being transmitted across the internet and when it's stored on your systems. This makes it much harder for those pesky data thieves to make sense of anything, even if they manage to breach your walls. Then there's maintain a vulnerability management program. Think of this as having vigilant guards constantly patrolling the fortress, looking for any weaknesses or potential entry points. This means regularly updating your systems and software, patching those security holes before the bad guys can exploit them. It also means using antivirus software, those digital knights in shining armor that protect your systems from malware and other nasty digital threats. Fourth on our list is implement strong access control measures. This is all about who gets to go where inside the fortress. You wouldn't give the keys to the treasury to just anyone, right? Same goes for your data. This means restricting access based on need to know, only giving employees access to the information they absolutely need to do their jobs. Fifth, we have regularly monitor and test networks. This is like having surveillance cameras and motion sensors all over the fortress, keeping an eye on things 24/7. This means tracking access to your systems, looking for any suspicious activity. It also means regularly testing your security controls, making sure everything is working as it should be. And finally, last but definitely not least, we've got maintain an information security policy. This is the rulebook for the fortress itself. the document that outlines all the security procedures and policies everyone needs to follow. It's about establishing clear guidelines, training employees, and making sure everyone understands the importance of data security. Okay, so you understand what PCI DSS is and why it's important. Now the big question, how do you actually become compliant? How do you achieve that golden seal of approval, that badge of honor that says, hey, we take data security seriously? Well, fear not, my friend, because it's not as daunting as it seems. It's like baking a cake. Follow the recipe, and you'll end up with a delicious treat. Or in this case, a secure and compliant business. Step 1. Figure out your merchant level. Think of this as choosing the right size cake pan. The PCI DSS has different requirements based on how many transactions you process each year. There are 4 levels, with level 1 being the most stringent, reserved for the businesses processing the highest volume of transactions. Don't worry, you don't have to guess your level. The PCI Security Standards Council provides guidelines to help you figure it out. Step 2 is all about self-reflection, or in this case, self-assessment. You'll need to complete a PCI Self-Assessment Questionnaire, or SAQ. Don't worry, it's not a pop quiz. Think of it as a checklist, a way to see how well your current security measures stack up against the PCI DSS requirements. The SAQ will ask you a series of yes or no questions about your security practices. Be honest, this is about identifying any gaps or areas where you need to improve. Now, for some larger merchants, those processing a high volume of transactions, a self-assessment might not be enough. You might need a full-on security inspection, kind of like a health inspection for your data security. This is where a Qualified Security Assessor, or QSA, comes in. These are the trained professionals, the data security inspectors, who will come in and thoroughly examine your systems and processes. Step 3 is where the rubber meets the road: remediation. This is where you take the results of your self-assessment or QSA audit and fix any problems. Did you forget to enable a firewall? Time to build that digital wall. Is your data not properly encrypted? Time to lock it down tight. Remediation is about addressing those vulnerabilities and shoring up your defenses. Once you've addressed any issues and feel confident in your security posture, it's time for step 4, the Attestation of Compliance, or AOC. This is like the diploma you get after passing all your classes. It's a formal document that you submit to your acquiring bank or the card brands themselves, certifying that you've met all the PCI DSS requirements. But wait, there's more. PCI DSS compliance isn't a one-and-done deal. It's an ongoing process, a journey, not a destination. This means continuous monitoring of your systems, regular security testing, and keeping those security practices up to date. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about what PCI DSS is, who needs to comply, the 12 requirements, and how to become compliant. But you might still be wondering, why does all of this matter? Is it really that big of a deal? And the answer, my friend, is a resounding yes. PCI DSS matters, and it matters a lot, for you, for your business, and for the trust we all place in the digital world. First and foremost, PCI DSS is about preventing data breaches. Think about it. A data breach is like having your house burglarized, but instead of stealing your TV, they're stealing sensitive information, your customers' credit card details, their names, addresses, everything. It's a massive invasion of privacy, and it can have devastating consequences. And speaking of consequences, let's talk about fines. Non-compliance with PCI DSS can lead to some hefty penalties. And I'm not talking about a slap on the wrist here, we're talking about fines that can reach into the hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. And those fines can come from multiple sources: the card brands themselves, your acquiring bank, even regulatory bodies. But beyond the financial implications, there's something even more valuable at stake: your reputation. A data breach can severely damage your brand's reputation, eroding the trust you've built with your customers. Word travels fast in the digital age, and news of a breach can spread like wildfire, scaring away potential customers and impacting your bottom line. And let's not forget the human cost of a data breach. For your customers, it can mean identity theft, fraudulent charges, and a whole lot of stress and hassle trying to clean up the mess. It can take months, even years, to fully recover from the damage caused by a data breach. In a world where cybercrime is becoming increasingly sophisticated, where hackers are constantly finding new and creative ways to exploit vulnerabilities, PCI DSS is more important than ever. It's the baseline, the foundation upon which you build a secure and trustworthy business. So, if you're handling credit card information, don't view PCI DSS as just another checkbox to tick off on a compliance checklist. See it for what it is: a vital investment in the security of your business, your customers, and the digital world we all share. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos on cybersecurity and compliance frameworks like ISO 27001, NIST, and HIPAA. Drop a comment below if you're working on PCI DSS compliance or want a walkthrough of the 12 requirements in detail. And remember, security is not just a checkbox, it's a responsibility. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and let's work together to make the digital world a safer place for everyone.